after the spill, people were coming to work unshowered, basically cleaning up as best you could with like baby wipes or some sort of like, you know, whatever towels you had laying around that you could clean yourself with. I mean, bottled water, bar of soap, and a washcloth was about the best you could do. So,
water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia, and certainly some of its most remarkable places are its rivers. When we think about places like the New River or the Golly River or the Cranberry River. Then when we couple that with some of the major river systems like the Monongahela River and the Kanawha River, places where historic conduits of coal and steel and major economic drivers in terms of industry development along the canal. So rivers are a huge, huge component of the West Virginia landscape.
Okay, well, in the Innovator in Residence program, we're always looking at a way to do experimental reporting with new technology, but we're also always looking for, you know, what is the news hook? What are the pressing issues of the day? And for us in West Virginia, having just come out of, at that time when we were first looking at developing this particular program, the chemical spill.
I remember coming back to the station, and a few hours later we found out, and then West Virginia American Water, and the governor's office issued the do not use notice, or the ban on using using the water for anything except to flush the toilet or to put out fires. So, you know, those first few hours, it was the afternoon whenever the story was breaking from other outlets. And my colleague and I, Ashton, we sort of picked up and tried to gather as much information as we could at that point. So,
regardless of how pessimistic or optimistic you are about climate change, nearly every model suggests that areas to our east, along the eastern seaboard and Washington, D.C. corridor, is expected to get less rainfall, and areas to our west as you move into Ohio and the Great Lakes. Many of those areas are expected to get less rainfall than current, and we are expected to get slightly more.
But it was like opening up a Pandora's box of issues about water, not just in our state, but nationwide, and realizing the sort of precariousness of water quality and the security of water quality. And you know, the more rocks we picked up and looked under, you know, the more we found. And for me, it was really an education in the entire ecosystem of looking at water. What are the political implications? What are the, you know, there are so many different groups who concern themselves with water. They don't all agree on how you look at water quality. When the crisis happened in Flint, Michigan, it was tragic, but it also confirmed for us what we were really seeing, even just trying to investigate issues of looking at water quality in this state. So it's been a real eye-opener, but it also really points the way to the power of some of these emerging technologies, potentially, maybe not now, but in the future, and of community engagement and being part of how we look at water quality and security in our communities.
What we're doing is making something that could be an early warning system, right? So the EPA and local governments can't monitor every stretch of every body of water.
And now we start seeing water issues coming up everywhere. It's sort of like you guys were almost like ahead of the curve before it started. Like all these different, you know, issues started coming about.